Before we begin this video, I want to give a trigger warning to anybody who has been affected by eating disorders or anorexia. We are going to be talking about that in this video, so if it's something you are sensitive to or even currently recovering from, this video is not for you. Please click out now. Ariana Grande has started her Eternal Sunshine Tour, her first tour in over 7 years. And what was supposed to be a moment of celebration and a return to stage quickly became a topic of discussion I wish we were not having, but unfortunately, people are being weird per usual, so. When clips from the concert started surfacing online, many people were quick to note that Ariana Grande looked visibly very different in terms of her body, and I'm not going to sit here and pretend that isn't true. I definitely think she looks different. She definitely looks a lot more skinnier. People were discussing her body under the guise of genuine concern, but it quickly became much more than genuine concern. Frankly, a lot of people started posting some very nasty stuff, including this one YouTube commentary video where they wrote in the title, like, Ariana Grande is dying in front of us and no one's doing anything about it, which is insane. I mean, they ended up changing the title because people were like, what the fuck, obviously. I immediately noticed that the conversation was definitely, for the most part, not well-intentioned, or at the very least, assumably well-intentioned, but people were kind of dragging it much further than it needed to be dragged. Before I continue, I think you can absolutely be concerned for somebody and their health and their well-being, but I think there is a way to handle it in ways that doesn't come across as you just completely dehumanizing them, in my opinion, at least. I don't know, maybe I'm too well so high, so I dropped some water here, like, we'll ignore that. But the discourse became much more than like genuine concern. It became a topic of people needing to bring up their 2 cents about whether or not Ariana Grande is healthy, or if Ariana Grande has an eating disorder, has anorexia, or is getting off from comments from people who are concerned about her body. That's a genuine thing people have been saying Ariana Grande is likely going through, and I think that's just very weird because we really don't know this woman at all. And that's a big reason why I didn't feel the need to talk about this, because I don't know her well enough. She could very well not be struggling anything, just lost a lot of damn weight for all I know. Like, I don't know her well enough to make these judgments. And absolutely, there are people who have survived eating disorders or even anorexia, and they kind of live through these experiences and they feel the need to share their stories to kind of support this idea that Ariana Grande needs help. And while I do appreciate them trying to bring their stories and to think about other people and their health, I just don't think they realize that it's also going to be triggering for not only Ariana herself if she's seeing these comments, but also other people who have dealt with the situation, who are seeing people talk about bodies in ways that they do not want to be talked about. Again, a lot of people do have genuine concern for Ariana Grande, and I think it really matters in the wording in which they use to describe it. A lot of people may say, oh, I just hope she's healthy. That's a great way to show that you may be concerned, but you are not going to find a way to discuss her body or hate on her. You're just expressing that you are a little concerned. Very normal way to look at it, but some of you guys are entering, you're not going to like it, parasocial relationship behavior. I already know where the comments are going to go with this, but I feel like a lot of people think that like parasocial relationships are simply like knowing who Taylor Swift has unfollowed or what time Katy Perry went into the studio to record. Like, it's like knowing every single move of a celebrity, but like parasocial relationships can also be obsessing over celebrities' lives and their bodies and feeling the need to comment on it in ways that you wouldn't really do to a regular person on the street. Like, if a total stranger came up to you and you were concerned about their body, you wouldn't say straight to their face, like, are you okay? Like, that would just be considered rude and weird, but since we are looking at public figures, it's considered normal. Also, sorry for the AI summary. I did read 2 of the articles and watch the video in which they took this information from, so this is well-researched. I just found this as the perfect way to summarize how I'm feeling about this. I feel like a lot of the discussions about Ariana Grande falls under the third one, tribalism and protection, where people feel like they're doing a good thing, talking about a potential mistake she's making, when in reality, they're just making the situation much worse. I already talked about this on TikTok, but this really reminds me of the Chadwick Boseman situation where months leading up to his death, people were talking about how unhealthy he looks, how he looked drugged out, they were very concerned about his body, all these nasty comments, and it certainly wasn't helped when leaked images of him on the streets were coming out and he wasn't looking the best, only for us to find out the moment of his death that he was dealing with terminal cancer, and that was the aftermath of that. And people were swearing that they were never going to talk about celebrities' bodies ever again in negative ways, but unfortunately, as you can see, we still are talking about that. Now, my point isn't that Ariana Grande has a terminal disease that's going to kill her. Absolutely not. Let's not manifest that energy here. But my point is we really don't know these people well enough. They're not really showing every aspect of their life well enough to really make that judgment. And I hate that people are kind of coming to conclusions and talking about people and making assumptions about them without really understanding the full situation at hand. And that's clearly what's happening here. I feel like people think that they know Ariana well enough to know that she's probably suffering from an ED, which may likely not even be the case. We really don't know what this girl is going through. And I fear we aren't the people who are supposed to tell her that. It's her therapist who's there to talk about her family members. And I hate that people are making all these different assumptions about her and her character, her family, and who's there with her and who's not. And it's just a bunch of weird conversations being had about someone we all don't know. I know we talked about Chadwick Boseman, but Ariana Grande is also not the first pop girl to have her body dissected, and certainly not the last. I mean, Selena Gomez consistently had her body discussed by the media and the public. A lot of people had a lot to say about her body, only for her to later come out and say she's been battling lupus for more than a decade and that it's been impacting her weight gain or weight loss. And a lot of y'all bitches look stupid after that. Like, y'all were making so many assumptions about this girl only to find out she was literally fighting for her life. Like, that being said, if you are currently recovering from an ED or anorexia and seeing Ariana on stage is like triggering you, that's a very valid thing to have. Your trauma is your trauma, and I'm not here to say like you need to like not care about it and just continue to look at Ariana Grande. Like, obviously, it can be triggering to people who are recovering, who definitely did have a body like that. But my point is we shouldn't self-diagnose somebody who we know nothing about. Like, at the end of the day, this is somebody who only shares her music with the world and some aspects of her personal life, but then there's other aspects of her life we likely don't know about. For all we know, she has a secret horse she owns on a farm that she owns in fucking Georgia, you know? Like, shit like that. That's all I really gotta say. I know this video is really short, but I think I just wanted to put my thoughts into a short video because I'm just getting really tired and low-key a little concerned about the way people are talking about the situation. And the best thing to say to end off this video is, one, I really do hope Ariana Grande is safe and healthy and she's thriving. And two, I will be putting down resources in the description below if you are somebody who's suffering from an ED or anorexia or know somebody who you think might be struggling. I think it is important for us to use this conversation and pivot in a way to have more healthy conversations about this disorder. And I think that just consistently going after somebody for something that we know really not much about is just not a healthy way. I think we should prioritize actually putting our efforts into helping the ones who are suffering from it, in my opinion at least. That's all I really got to share. Subscribe to the channel if you are new here and you are looking for more pop culture commentary videos.